So I'm Sax Persson. I'm the studio manager and the executive producer of Team Dakota, making Project Spark.
Start by talking about where the idea for this game came from.
So every time we put out at Microsoft a game that had UGC in it, like we saw that people loved it. Like huge amount of UGC came out, and it always felt like it's an afterthought, right? Like what if we could make something that was just about people being creative? So we said, let's figure out how people want to be creative. And what we came up with was like a playing is creating foundation of any platform, any input device, and then sharing on a huge community. So we're on Xbox One, which is what we're showing you today. We're on Windows 8 and we're on Xbox 360. We support controller input, we support touch input and mouse and keyboard. And as something new, we also have Kinect animation recording.
Can you talk a little about how the smart glass comes into play with all of that?
We also have Smart Glass, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. So Smart Glass like immediately sends you into a touch experience, right? So it is remote rendering using the Xbox One, so the power of Xbox One on your tablet, and you can, the minute you touch the touch Smart Glass, we switch the interface to being a touch interface rather than a controller interface, and you can fluidly go back and forth between controller and between touch. Once you have Smart Glass and touch, you can sit there and you can sculpt, you can do anything, you can play all the touch games that are being made in the community, and it just works seamlessly.
When it comes to the Xbox One version, what's it been like working on that console, and what has that opened up for you guys?
So Kinect has been a huge liberator for us, right? Like we wanted for people to put themselves in the game. And it's a very difficult proposition, right? And what does that really mean to put yourself in the game? Once we started testing the new Kinect, we could see that, well, we could read enough that we can get full animations in. We could capture the voice and it actually sounded really good. We could process the voice, so we can make like monster voices or chipmunk voices. We can capture facial animation, we can capture your hand, open and close, eyebrows, puffed cheeks, like all that stuff, right? And once we started capturing that, it was obvious that going like we want to put that in and apply that to any character. So you can take and record an animation on a troll, on a squirrel, on a human, mix and match, do whatever you want to. Put it in your game, and when you share that game, people are actually going to see your animation with your voice, with your facial animation. That's the game that they're going to play. So obviously for Machinima, that's a big deal, right? That now you can make Shakespeare in the Park, or just Beavis and Butthead, right? Like whatever strikes your fancy. But it's also great for the game. Like you can put your own moves in the game. So if you want a healing move and you want to summon, or you want like a particular finishing move, you can record that, put it in the animation chain, and then when your game goes out, it's you in the game. So it's just a great way to, like, another avenue to be creative that nobody had explored yet.
Speaking of being creative, how intuitive is the process, and how long does it take to create something for this game?
We always beat ourselves up, right? So we constantly test, iterate, and we're really happy with where we're at right now. Like we have a set of experiences that are very easy to get into. We know we have the depth because the things we're seeing from the community are extremely intricate and very detailed and can make like incredibly playing games. But what we were missing was like a straight up tutorial. And we didn't want just a tutorial. Like if we just taught people how to use a paintbrush or put down a prop or how to make a brain, like that's only half of it. But making a game is actually different because you want to make a good game. What does a game consist of? A beginning, middle, and end with a hero and an adversary, a path, some pickups, maybe some like a village, maybe like a story twist, whatever it is, right? So what we've built is like a tutorial that makes you build your own game. And it works like a tech tree, so you can make decisions as you're making it. We gray out the interface and just show you the bits you need for every little piece of the tutorial you go through, and that can be constructing a hero's brain from scratch, like doing everything, including like taking the joystick input, making them move, like how we're gonna map the fighting, all that stuff, down to the sculpting, down to how do you make a hero, all that stuff, right? And if, let's say you forget something of it, right? You go, well, that's all good and fine and like while I was making it, but I've forgotten how to do it now that I'm making my new game. These tutorials are broken up into what we call micro modules. The micro modules you can invoke at any time. So even if you're in your own level at a very particular point and all you need help with is just that bit of the tutorial where you made a sword, like you attach a sword to his hand, you're browsing it like a content gallery and go, I want the tutorial module, this one. You go in, you take it, and then we show you that bit of the tutorial in your level. So we don't wipe and go to a special level. We do it right there, right? So you can essentially complete the tutorial, and you have your hero with the sword now in your own game. So that was the last piece of the puzzle. So that's a very long way of saying making this intuitive is difficult, but like we're taking every step like for everybody to be able to make their game.